basically what I'm going to talk is about how we recover textiles from the municipal waste. So the fact is that in Australia, every Australian is consuming about 27 kilos of textiles every year. From these 27 kilos of textile that is consumed, only 3 to 4 kilos, that is 15% of the textiles, is reused or recycled. So that means that an average of 24 kilos per habitant goes to the landfill. So in order to have an order of magnitude, that it means that is every Australian is throwing every year to a landfill a big suitcase full of textiles to the landfill. That is the fact. Obviously, those rates is similar to other developed countries. In the United States, probably the consumption is a little bit larger than in Australia, but the recycling ratio is more or less similar. They reach about 15%. In Europe, that was supposed to be the most advanced country, the figures are not also to brag. It's something that we reuse and recycle about 25%, but still we are far away from that, from what it should be. Let's talk now about what is the life cycle of the textiles. So basically, the first thing is you produce the fiber. That it can be natural fiber or the wool fiber. That fiber is processed on the factories, and then on the factories, what you have, they manufacture the product, and then also the factory also generate the waste that can be scrap textile or then products that they have defects. So that product generally is recycled. Then it goes to another factory. Generally what they produce is they produce other products that is we call the non-woven products. Okay. Then, whenever it goes from the factory, it goes to the retailing, and then finally to the consumer. So the consumer, whenever he uses the textile, what happens is something that some of them goes to charity foundations. It goes a little fraction that it goes to the loop, but most of it, the 85%, goes to the landfill. So the fact is something that whenever we collect the municipal waste, between 5 and 6% of the waste is textiles. So that was a problem for Ferrovial. After looking at it, we believe that was an opportunity. So basically, it was just to go to improve the circular economy. So they said, okay, instead to send the textile to the landfill, how about to recycle? So then we made first study, we got funds, and then we got a project that was RECITEX. So on the recycling, on the textile, first of all, whenever you recycle textiles, you can do two things. It's what we call the upcycling and downcycling. So the downcycling, what is downcycling? So something that we will recover the textiles. The textile is a mix of fibers, wool, synthetics, cotton. So then you produce what we call non-woven products. Then is another method to recycle is what we call the upcycling. That is more sophisticated, because it's something that is to recover the material and then to segregate it in different fibers. That those fibers they can go to the manufacturer. The problem of that is something that you have, the process is quite complex. You have to segregate the textiles by different types, cotton, wool, synthetics. And then on top of that, those products has to be segregated by colors, the natural colors that they have or other colors. So the project now is ambitious. We want to go to the upcycling, but then the complexity, so let's start with the easy part, that it will be the downcycle. So that is, the RECITEX project, it was focused on the downcycle. It's going to be different stages on the future that we're going to go to upcycle. So the RECITEX project is, we divided, to tackle that problem, we divided in three stages. The first stage is just to how to recover the textile from the municipal waste. There's something on the facilities. That was the first challenge. The second challenge is whenever you recover the textile from the municipal waste, then you have to wash. Imagine what is a piece of clothes that, believe me, that is wet, smell, dirty, nasty. So then we have to investigate, and we've been investigating what is the washing process. And then finally, the last stage is the production. We have to demonstrate, that with that product, they have the same quality than the other sources. So those are the 3 stages. So the problem that we face, the challenge that we face, first of all, how we resolve the problem of segregating the waste from the stream, from the municipal stream. So first of all, we did the test on a facility that we have in Barcelona, EcoPark 4. It's a mechanical biological treatment facility that treats about 300,000 tons per year. It's fully automatic. Then we see that we have the technology and the capacity in that facility. First of all, we went to Germany with Tomra. We did some trials to see the adjustment that we have to do in the facility to start to see how much textile we can recover. The first test that we do, adjusting the optic separator, we achieve a 65% of all the textile that was on the municipal waste. We were able to recover a 65%. Then the second problem that we face is that textile that we recover still was very contaminated, about 10–15%. And then that contamination, it was too much for the following process, that it was the washing process. So basically, before to jump to the following step, so we do after making testing, we do hand keeping, and then we clean it up, and then we achieve the result that it was the necessary result to go to the next step. Then later on, whenever we realize that the whole process was working, then we use robotic arms not to remove, and then we improve quite a lot the first stage. The second stage, that is the hygienization, and then to eliminate the odor. What we use is we went to different industry that they have what we call the washing tunnels. The process of washing is 3 processes: the hygienization and to remove the odor is first a washing process, then a press process to remove all the water, and then a third process that is to dry the textile. Then there, we use different technologies. There are technology on the market. Imagine the hotels, restaurants, that they generate a lot of, they have to wash the tablecloths, bed sheets, so it's industrial machines. So we were using those different technologies that they have until we arrived to a very positive results. The main problem that we have was with the others, that we ought to eliminate the others. But then we come up with formulas that we run with the detergent using ozonization. Even we use autoclave system. So we reach at a moment that we wash the material, and then we eliminate all the other. So after this process, then we got a textile of good quality, and then we went to the third stage, that was the production. So the production basically is also in 2 stages. Whenever we receive the textile by itself, it has impurities. They have the buttons that you have to eliminate. They have the zippers, the metal, all of that you have to be eliminated. So it's a process that is grinding, and also and then also making fibers. And then at the end, we obtain what we call the fiber. So whenever we obtain that fiber, then we start to manufacture the product, different manufacture, because we can produce with no-woven textiles, we can produce filling for mattresses, filling for seats of an automotive industry, also for the construction, blocks to isolate, to insulate on the construction. So it's many applications. And so we're producing with that product, those different products, in order to test that they have exactly the same quality than the other sources. We were quite successful. So the outcomes, it was first that is a market, an application for the recycling products, that RECITEX project was focused only on the downstreams. Then another fact is that the source is guaranteed. The textile is on the waste, and then that is something that it can guarantee for the next year, that source of raw material. Then the project now achieved so far 65% of recovery from the municipal waste. Our objective is to reach the 90%, but that is on the test. That test we achieved the 65%. Then also now we find out that the technology is suitable to do that. Then also now we find out that the product has the same quality, and then that the RECITEX project is a reality from the technical and financial point of view. So what are next steps now? The next steps are, the first one is about to recover the textiles from the waste. Now that right now we are achieving 65%. Actually today, and then we're working, and then our goal is to reach 90, to segregate the 90% of the textile that is on the waste. So that is something that currently today we are in 80%. So because we have to make modification on the facilities, and then we are achieving that. Then the second stage is the one of the washing. The washing we achieve, the quality that is required. However, we find out that we have that we can improve the water. The water consumption that we have is high if you compare with the industrial, with other. Whenever you wash the towels and tablecloths from the industry, they generated about 3 liters per kilogram that you wash. Here now we are consuming about 6 or 7 liters of water per kilogram. Nevertheless, now the reason is because that we cannot recycle the water, is because the water on those systems, on the existing technology, is so dirty that they cannot wash. But we are convinced that we're gonna reduce that amount. We treat more than 1 million tons of leachate in different landfills and facilities that we have. So that is, for us, is something that is, we are certain that we're gonna reduce the water consumption. Then another objective is to reduce the electricity consumption, and also now the use of soaps and ozone, because also now the current technology cannot, we cannot add more ozone or something like that, because they are not suited for that type of material. So it's something that looks very optimistic. And then probably the third part is the most complex, is something that with the market analysis, we are generating a product, a non-woven product. In the particular case that was taking the test, that it was in Spain, the total production of non-woven products is about 140,000 tons. And then it's something that is a mature market, that it has been that market for many years. So we believe, there is an equilibrium between the demand, the offer and the demand. Right now, just this facility where we're making the test now has the potential to recycle more than 14,000 tons, so maybe to produce 14,000 tons of non-woven products. So that it means that it will be to increase the offer on a 10%. So right now what we're doing is not just, we have one of the biggest, we have very large clients, like 4 General Motors that are interested in this project. So we are signing agreements. And then so whenever we have the non-woven products guarantee, then we will design, we're right now in the signal how to design the facility, the size of the facility. So that is one of the biggest unknown that we have, is something that is what it will be the demand of non-woven products, because right now it's an equilibrium, but we believe that the demand is going to be higher. Nevertheless, we believe, that was our first step. That also now we have plenty of room, whenever now we start to investigate on the upcycling, that on the upcycling is going to be a full, we are convinced that we're not going to have any problem for the demand of that fiber. So the conclusion that we can jump up now, if right now in Australia we implement the RECITEX project, it will be 320,000 tons that will be diverted from the landfill. The second conclusion is that the extension of the value chain, we are contributing to the circular economy, to improve the circular economy. And probably the most important thing is that just The RECITEX project, it was just a starting project. There is still a lot of room to improve, not to go from the downcycling to go to the upcycle. So that's it.